Combe Paris on HSN.
Our birthday, your presents.
Come join the fun.
For over 40 years, committed to bringing to life the world's finest vitamins and supplements, all from an amazing solar-powered facility in Henderson, Nevada. Good evening, everybody. Welcome on in. Yesterday was a big day with Andrew Lessman and his team for our incredible Today's Special. This hour is really an opportunity to still take advantage of the special savings, the wonderful pricing, and of course, the free shipping and handling. Tonight, we're gonna get through a variety of products, some of which you did not see yesterday, and we're gonna get a chance to kind of chat a little bit about why they are so important for us to consider. Joining us live from beautiful Aspen, Mr. Andrew Lessman is here. Andrew, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Adam. How are you? I'm great.
What a wonderful day it was yesterday as well.
Beautiful, and the sun just set here a little while ago, and we're just an hour late. Apparently, there were a couple of bear in the backyard. A big mother bear and her smaller child bear.
Do you see them, Andrew?
Cub.
Do you see them regularly?
Excuse me? Oh yes, regularly. They're frequent visitors. Yeah, the Lincoln knows how to handle them. Marcel does not, so we have to watch for Marcel. Marcel's a little funny, but
I think I'd be a little funny as well.
It's the wilderness. I should probably have brought them. I have some great pictures that I've taken this year because a lot of the trails I go do with Link, we've come across elk, we've come across moose, very close to some very big moose, which is not necessarily a good thing. So it's definitely the wilderness up here, and that's what I love about it. It's a chance for me to get away from things. I could work wherever I am, so it's just beautiful up here, a place to exercise at altitude, mountain bike, hike and run trails.
It looks spectacular, it really does. I mean, we're seeing some beautiful video right now, some gorgeous imagery. Andrew, tonight we really get a chance to look after ourselves, to look out for ourselves as well. We're gonna kick things off with our calcium magnesium, a product that often gets rave reviews, quite honestly, because it's such a refreshing change from the usual horse pills, since we're talking about animals, the usual horse pills that we used to take with these types of supplements.
Well, that's what I often say. Our products are basically perfectly reviewed. I think they average between 4.6 and 4.7 stars with over 200,000 reviews. And I say part of the reason that they're so well reviewed, it's not me being humble, I think it's a fact, is that most vitamins perform so badly that by comparison, our products seem remarkable. So when you look at a calcium magnesium product like this, the first thing you notice that's unique, it's not a huge horse pill. It's an ultrafine powder in a capsule. We don't use very large capsules, so we only use small capsules that are easy to swallow. We don't use any ingredients that are going to be sensitizing or irritating to your stomach. So calcium magnesium, to so many of us, is critically important, and we end up not taking it because the products are so unpleasant to use. So like all of my products, our focus is delivering all the benefits you could hope for from that product, but at the same time, eliminating all of the problems. And until we do the latter, meaning until we figure out how to eliminate all the problems, we will not offer the product. In fact, we have our vitamin C drink coming out. I've wanted to do that for over 30 years.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to eliminate the sugar and the calories and still make it taste good. We figured that out. It's going to be coming. So sometimes you have to be patient with us, even with our calcium magnesium Intensicare. It took us a while, but we figured out how to accomplish it and how to deliver the perfect product.
It's such an important product, and this one is easy to swallow. It's easy to enjoy. That's why it does hold on to a 4.7 star rating with virtually overwhelmingly 5-star reviews. Pricing tonight, just so you know, we have a 60, a 250. There's a 500 and a 1,000 caps available as well. So the pricing is normally here. That's what you can get it for today. And of course, the savings add up. Andrew, I always enjoy these Monday shows because it's an extra opportunity for people to see some of these special savings.
Well, because we're not on air that frequently, it's hard for us to have a lot of time to show all of the variety. So Monday is an opportunity for us. I think in this hour, we'll have a dozen products. So it's an opportunity for us to look at a lot of products. And the product we'll be talking about next, vitamin K2, it's such an important product. gave my mom a lecture about that product, I think a couple of months ago, because she was not taking her vitamin K2 regularly. She was all focused on her vitamin D and her calcium magnesium, and she wasn't taking her vitamin K2. And as important as we know calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D are for our skeleton, vitamin K2, MK7 is even more important. So we'll talk about that next.
And in fact, I already walked on over, Andrew. I knew that's where you were going, and you always, you know, as we kind of learned more about vitamin K2, MK7, one of the things that you said to me on that very first day, and I wrote it here, you said it's one of the most important vitamins you could supplement. I know you used the analogy of the traffic cop, which I'll let you elaborate on, but you know, a lot of people don't understand it or really know about it, so I'm excited to be able to share this information with folks. It is a crucial supplement.
Well, calcium, it's like everything in life. There's sort of, what do they say, a two-edged sword?
Yes.
Whatever giveth, taketh away.
Right.
That calcium is something that's absolutely essential for our joints, and the repository for calcium in our body is in our joints, in our bones, and the repository of calcium, where the reservoir for calcium is our bones. But at the same time, calcium can be found and should be found in other tissues. It's necessary to be present in every single cell in our body. But if too much calcium is deposited in tissues that it shouldn't belong in or doesn't belong in, then we have calcification. And calcification is a very dangerous process when it comes to our blood vessels, specifically our arteries. So what's exciting about vitamin K2, MK7, the initial research on it, everyone was focused on what a wonderful tool this is to stimulate calcium depositing, the deposition of calcium in our bones, so our bones retain the calcium they need to stay strong. But then, as usual, as we often find out with products, there was a secondary benefit that I view as even more important. And that secondary benefit is the fact that it's such a strong message to retain calcium in the bones that it makes sure that that calcium doesn't get deposited where it doesn't belong. In other words, the analogy you gave about it sort of being like a traffic cop, and as you can see, there's soft gel capsules, but it directs vitamin K2, MK7 is responsible for directing calcium to be retained in the tissues that it's required in our bones to maintain their strength and integrity over the course of our lifetime, which is a wonderful additional tool, a wonderful discovery. And at the same time, K2, MK7 is a strong message to make sure that calcium doesn't end up finding its way, which one way or another will, in all of us, into our arteries or other tissues, causing calcification. So as I said before, vitamin D and calcium absolutely critical for our bones. Vitamin K2, MK7, in my mind, even more important, breathing life into those nutrients. But in terms of heart health, vascular health, because again, our coronary arteries, we want to keep them healthy. We don't want them elastic and flexible. We don't want them calcified. And a great study that was recently published, even just a few months of the level of vitamin K2, MK7 in a single capsule of this product, the flexibility of arteries was already observed. So just a few months. And the flexibility of arteries was increased. Why? Because of the reduction in calcification. Right. So again, I could spend an hour or two talking about the importance of this product, and I seem to be alone discussing it for the last decade because it really hasn't caught on that much with other supplement companies. Right. You could find it online, but it's such an important product, and I encourage everyone to do further research or to try it.
You know, the Lone Ranger, truly. But Andrew, this is something certainly you've done for many, many years in terms of really be the voice of the latest science and research and trying to help bring that information to life. I'd love to read just a couple reviews on set which kind of further reinforce what Andrew's saying, because folks just like you and me hearing Andrew talk about it for the very first time. This particular review is from Patty, and she starts off by saying, "My doctor approves. I read an article on MSN about what doctors did for their health." Smart. "One of the things was taking a vitamin K2 supplement. I researched it and found that it was excellent for heart and bone health. I called my family doctor about it and he gave his approval, so I got it from our trusted vitamin source, Andrew Lessman. And now hubby and I both take it. We're considered elderly in age, but we don't want to feel old. Thanks, Andrew, another winner." I'll do one more. Fantastic. I'm so glad you're making this vitamin. My doctor said everybody should be taking it. We need it to keep the calcium in the right places, like our bones and not in our arteries. I can't thank Andrew enough. I only trust vitamins from Andrew because he puts no added fillers or ingredients that we don't need. This one is a winner. Thanks again. Andrew, this goes back to what you have always said. It doesn't matter if the folks watching buy these products, it's about taking in and absorbing the information that we're giving out.
This is, as those two charts said, their doctors told them how important it is. This is a critically important vitamin. It is not available in our food unless you're in Japan eating certain fermented foods. So unfortunately, the only way you're going to get the benefits of vitamin K2, it bears no relationship to vitamin K1, which relates to blood clotting. This is vitamin K2 MK7, which relates to calcium utilization. So again, and the importance is not just for bone health, but now we know for cardiovascular and heart health as well. I can't underscore and emphasize its importance. I encourage everyone, as I said before, to do research. And it's for what it is, it's an affordable product.
Yes.
But at the potency of this product, I take 1 capsule per day,
right.
But at the potency of this product, even if you took 1 capsule every other day, you are still embracing the benefits of the research. So then at 1 capsule every other day, it becomes about $0.10 a day, and that's incredibly affordable.
The largest size at 360 caps is just $89.90, free shipping and of course flex pay. We're gonna head over this way to our next item, something that we love talking about. A wonderful discovery for all of us that are fans of Andrew, his Soleil sunscreen. We all need to wear sunscreen in the summer. We know that. But for all of these years, quite frankly, we've all been buying the chemical sunscreens. And when we learn more about chemical sunscreens, we realize it's not perhaps the best thing for ourselves or our family. This is absolutely 100% mineral-based. It is no chemicals. It's not sticky. It's not tacky. It's safe for children. And it's remarkably priced tonight. I'll let Andrew get into it, but I want to share with you the value, because Andrew, I'm so proud to be able to offer this. If you and I went to buy big sunscreens, spray sunscreens, we'd end up spending a lot more money than what we have here. The massive 6 ounce that will last you a long time is normally $70. Our price is under $30. So you're saving more than you're spending. There's a 4 ounce and a 2 ounce. I always keep one of the small ones in the car with me, and this is one the whole family uses. Andrew, I know this was a labor of love for you. You've often, sought to improve upon the sunscreens out there. Soleil is the best yet.
The first zinc oxide-based sunscreen that we created was back in the 1990s. So I've always viewed this as an area that it was very important for me to participate in, because the typical sunscreen on the market is downright unhealthy. And we're not talking about just for your skin, but for your body. And you mentioned before spray-on. No one should ever use a spray-on sunscreen. A spray-on sunscreen, if it's a chemical sunscreen, it means you're inhaling it. Even if it's a zinc oxide-based or titanium dioxide-based sunscreen, you shouldn't be spraying them on and inhaling them. The way to apply a sunscreen is just with a little spot of sunscreen. The way this goes on, it's non-oily, it's dermatologist tested, it's ophthalmologist tested, it's even pediatrician tested, so you could put this on your children. So it's designed to be the safest sunscreen in the world. It's designed to be the easiest to use, the most pleasant to use. And because I view this as so important, we changed the price to make the price even lower than when I introduced it last year. And when the supply runs out this summer, we will not be, because it's a complex job manufacturing this, we will not have stock again until probably May or June of next year. Some people wear sunscreen year-round, especially if you're in Florida, as HSN is. So it's something that we need to pay careful attention to. But if you think chemical sunscreens are safe, they're okay, I hate to say it, but you're completely wrong. Right. They are absorbed through your skin. And the levels they're absorbed through their skin, we're talking about milligram quantities. We're talking about levels that would be high levels of vitamins. So it's not trace amounts that are being absorbed. Significant amounts are being absorbed. And these are chemicals that if they're in your body, they're poisons. They were not designed to be in the body. They were designed to be on the body. But guess what? They were wrong. They get absorbed into the skin. Zinc oxide does not work in that fashion. It is not absorbed into the skin. It works like a parasol, like a like a sunshade.
Right.
Because the way zinc oxide works, it blocks. But the reason why mine isn't whitening, because it's these microparticles of zinc, and it's non-nano, so it's safe for the environment. So it's perfectly a matte finish, so it goes under your makeup ideally. I got lots of feedback from people who are very difficult about sunscreen when we created this. And my original sunscreen was great, but this sunscreen is even better. I mean, there's nothing as good as my original sunscreen from 1995 today, except for our new Soleil sunscreen. So I encourage you to give it a try. The reviews, we'll read some reviews in a moment. They are remarkable, but to think that you're getting the most expensive zinc oxide that we could find in the world, and it's the finest zinc oxide. We spared no expense in making the product. And to think that you're getting a large 6-ounce supply for under $30, free shipping and handling, you'll be thrilled with the product. It truly is one of a kind.
If you've tried other natural sunscreens and you felt disappointed, you didn't like the way they smell, you didn't like how they were hard to absorb into the skin, you have to try Soleil. It's a natural sunscreen giving us the protection that we need and the qualities and the properties that we've wanted for so long.
And Adam, Rick just told me in my little earpiece here, I'm not hearing voices, that we're down to only 250 left in the 6-ounce.
Oh, wow.
I think we might have a few thousand that we could back order, but that probably won't last as well. Okay. So as I said, we'll try to have as many as we can because this is intended to last a summer special, last until September, but it doesn't look like it's going to. And you'll be thrilled with it. It is the most perfect sunscreen because it's so clean. And it's been so tested. But if you look at the product, over 60% of the product is zinc oxide and water. Mm. And that's why when it goes on, the water gently wicks away. So it's a moisturizing sunscreen. There's not a lot of chemicals in it. Typical sunscreens are 30 to 60 ingredients. Ours is a dozen ingredients. It's simple, it's straightforward. Also, no chemical preservatives, no preservatives at all. It's just a perfectly naturally balanced formula, and you'll fall in love with it. Well, want to read a review here quickly or two?
Please.
Before we run out of time. I know we're almost out of time. This kind of says it all. The best sunscreen I've ever used. I've received a sample of the sunscreen with a recent Andrew Lessman order. I do not usually try samples, but because I trust Andrew's products, I was eager to try this sunscreen. I absolutely can say that this is the best sunscreen I have ever used because I'm an African American, and again, very difficult. I'm olive skin, and you use these white sunscreens, and it looks like I become a ghost. So right. You want something that disperses and doesn't have that whitening. So because I'm an African American, to make a sunscreen that is not chalky is phenomenal. This sunscreen is creamy, moisturizing, and easily absorbed into the skin. The SPF of 40 is great too. Thank you, Andrew. Bring on a super-sized tube, which we did. That's our 6-ounce, which unfortunately we're running out of. We'll do one more. Fabulous stuff. We used this on a cruise to St. Thomas and Tortola and really gave it quite a workout as the sun was strong the entire time we were on the boat, and that was for 7 days. First, I must say it is not greasy, which it is not at all, nor does it have a nasty smell, and it goes on nice and evenly. Neither of us burned, and my husband is very fair-skinned, while I am rather olive-toned. He is very picky about his sunscreen and really was happy with this and wants me to order it again. Thanks, Andrew. Great stuff.
Thank you for shopping on this one. The 6-ounce is now getting very limited. That's this one. Normally $70, it's $29.90. Cannot say enough good things about it. You have a 30-day return policy as well. Andrew, as always, would want you to try it, as do I. Make that final decision. Okay, we're gonna head over to a life changer. Something that, you know, my mom will never live a day without it. She would absolutely never give up her supply of circulation and vein support. Guys, this is a July special savings. It's a wonderful monthly special. The pricing is magnificent. If you've got tired, swollen feet, swollen calves, heavy legs, if you don't like the look or appearance of your veins, you have to give this product a go. It has an amazing formula that has evolved over time, okay? It's better today than it's ever been before. And it has ingredients that quite honestly can really, really make a huge impact. When we say impact, we mean about feeling more motivated, having more confidence. I aired this with Andrew, was it yesterday? I'm losing track of the days, but I believe it was yesterday. Andrew, this was extremely popular. I like to think because of our wonderful presentation, but in my heart of hearts, I also know it's because that pricing is amazing as well.
It was Saturday night, and it's when we kicked off, we introduced the monthly special. So this is a monthly special, and this will not be a Today special again until sometime in the beginning of 2021. So this is going to be the best pricing for the balance of this year. And our product, Adam is correct. And what's exciting about this product, it's always been a 2 capsule per day product. When I introduced it, it had 500 milligrams of diosmin. We've increased that to 600 milligrams. We've also now changed the granulation. So it's effectively like getting almost 800 or 900 milligrams of diosmin. So almost double the original. What that means is that this product, and for other reasons what I will also expound on, this product, even though it's still intended as a 2 capsule per day product, if you have economic budget limitations, you can use it as a 1 capsule per day product. I would use it in the same fashion as hair, skin, and nails. First 30 days, 2 capsules, then thereafter 1 capsule, and that should be perfectly fine. But in addition to the diosmin, which is effectively at almost double the potency of the original formula, we have also added butcher's broom extract. And yesterday, I just happened to be reading the research on butcher's broom extract, which is compelling as the dozens and dozens and dozens of clinical studies are on diosmin. The studies on butcher's broom extract are just as convincing. And then certainly there's horse chestnut extract. So we had added butcher's broom to this formula about 3 years ago. We doubled the level in this new formula. So now effectively double the diosmin, effectively double the butcher's broom, and now we've added horse chestnut. All of these changes occurred in January. And of course, we continue with the pine bark and the grapeseed extract and the hesperidin. So the product is better than it's ever been before. It's a virtually perfectly reviewed product to start with. So if you want to, whether it's whatever the issue might be, whether it might be restless legs at the end of the evening or the end of the day, whether it's going to be swelling that's unsightly that or swollen veins, or even for those of us who might have challenges with hemorrhoids, because again, that relates to the health of our blood vessels. The research is compelling on that as well. So it's a product that performs in a fashion that I think most of us can't comprehend. That's something so natural, because again, the diosmin, it sounds like a chemical name, but all that is a naturally occurring polyphenol in the rind of oranges. In fact, the oranges come from Spain. So these are the rind of Spanish oranges, and then of course horse chestnut. And of course, when I was in London, I guess back in January, you walk through Hyde Park and you see all the horse chestnut trees. Yep. That's your old stomping grounds.
Indeed.
And then of course, butcher's broom extract. And butcher's broom extract, all 3 of these ingredients have been recommended by doctors in Europe for the healthy circulation of their patients' legs, not just for decades with credible science, but traditionally for centuries. And now this product has an abundance of credible science. So we're talking about real controlled clinical studies that I suspect most medications haven't been subject to the kind of critical review and scientific analysis of these ingredients. Mind you, it's not a drug, not a medicine, not treating anything, but it just goes to show you the level of certainty and credibility with which I can make these statements about these ingredients.
It's a game changer. It can help you feel so much better. And again, the reason why I use the example of my mom, and I know there's 2,500 5-star reviews. I mean, 2,500 5-star reviews. Most products on HSN have 10 to 20 reviews. So it gives you an idea of the overwhelming support that this product has. Because when your legs don't feel right, when they are swollen, when they are tired, you don't have that momentum in your own self. You just don't want to do anything, right? Whether we're on our feet all day long or sat down at home all day long, as the case may be. And then you talk about the appearance of. I know my mom's not watching, thank goodness, she's in bed, I never want to embarrass her. But she, it was the appearance of veins in her legs that she gravitated towards this. The diosmin that Andrew said is such a powerful, powerful, positive thing that's part of this formula that is remarkably pure. Remember, no fillers, no binders, nothing that shouldn't be there. The reason why, yet again, we have hundreds of people ordering is because of that amazing pricing. Even for the large 360, it is only $79.90. Now, you've got 30 days, and we're saying that we believe that you will feel a difference, see a difference, notice a difference, give it a chance. you know, on a flex pay with free shipping, it certainly makes sense. Saves you the most amount of money. And as Andrew mentioned, it's the best pricing, certainly for the rest of this year. So that's what's another exciting feature about it. Andrew, we say so often to our regular customers about Henderson, Nevada, right? And we've missed out this year on being able to be at your amazing facility. So many people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes to make this product.
And hopefully we'll be able to be there next year. I don't think it's happening this year, but hopefully next year. Florida is dealing with its own COVID-19 issues right now. But that is our factory. That's the building in the front with solar panels on the roof that we could expand. Now we're looking at the several acres of parking lot covered with solar panels. There's a shade in the front of the building in the front that has solar panels. So we generate more energy than we require.
Right.
So we have no carbon footprint. We behave responsibly. What I wanted to do, because the reviews on this product are so compelling and not everybody has access to read them, I just thought I'd read some of the reviews. I have the reviews on, I think, on circulation vein support, because I'm at my house, or glucosamine. So we have some charts here. And I'm just going to go through a whole bunch of these, because each one speaks to different issues. But yes, yes, yes works. I've been getting horrible cramps, Charlie horses. I ordered these, and the cramps were gone in 2 days. My legs are better at night, so I sleep better. I stopped taking them for a few weeks, and the cramping returned immediately. I will never be without my Andrew arsenal. Essential product. I should have written a review on this long ago. Although I take several of Andrew's products, this is the most important for my health and well-being. It has such a profound effect in my day-to-day life. It helps with swelling, cramps, discomfort, etc. I'm a very active, healthy woman. I eat well, work out, maintain a healthy lifestyle, but I could not do anything without this product. For me, it was life-changing. No more cramps or muscle spasms. I really like this. I don't have any more cramps or muscle spasms with my legs and feet. I used to get cramps when I would stretch. Also, when I was sleeping, I would wake up with muscle spasms in my legs. I take 2 capsules daily. A week ago, I noticed I was getting low, so I started taking 1 capsule. It did help, but 2 capsules are better. With 1 capsule, I can feel the muscle spasm wants to start, but doesn't. With 2 capsules, I don't feel anything. I have ordered more. And I think that review probably predated, was before the changes we made to the formula. And I think a lot of folks will be able to get away with 1 capsule. Worth a try. It just saves you money. Life changer. I was such a sad summer girl the past few years, as it's my favorite season, but my ankle and leg swelling made me miserable at times. They look terrible in the heat. After just 2 weeks of taking these vitamins and plenty of time spent in the sun and blistering heat, I have 0 swelling.
Wow.
I'm absolutely amazed. I will never be without these again. Truly a life changer, as I am now happy in the summer again. Thank you, thank you. I'll keep going here. These are wonderful. Well, what do you know? It works. I have just reordered more. I'm 70, have flat feet, crippled toes, restless legs, joint discomfort, and I'm walking up to 4 miles a day since beginning this regimen. I was doing a couple of miles on the treadmill and have been able to walk up to 4+ miles. I no longer awaken with restless legs. It seems to be like priming the pump. I do the work, but this has helped me get to the next level of physical activity and leg strength. Thanks. Do a couple more. No more leg cramps. Thank you, Andrew. My leg cramps disappeared in about 3 days. No more night cramps. I take 1 in the morning and 1 at night. I tell everyone about Andrew's vitamins when I'm talking health to my friends. Best products and quality, and a big thank you for all of your education on ingredients and background info. I'm hooked. Great supplement. My husband and I were suffering from several problems with our legs and feet. We are both amazed at how quickly this product made us feel better. Thank you, Andrew Lessman. We are new to your company, but plan on only purchasing your products. When you claim they work, they work. The best on the market. Being originally from Europe, my mom was a pharmacist. She was a big fan of Diosmin, so I have been exposed to it from a very early age. I was so glad when Andrew Lessman started making it, which I did over 20 years ago, so I didn't have to buy it from Europe anymore. Merci, Andrew. This must be someone from France. And one more, leg heaven. I am a nurse who is on the go all day long. My legs would cause me discomfort at the end of each day. I purchased this supplement and it's made such a difference. I now have purchased the largest bottle for my mom as well. Love Andrew Lessman supplements. They will change your life in such a positive way. The money saved buying salts and other things to aid in reducing discomfort is amazing. His products are must-try products. You will not regret the investment in yourself and well-being. We'll do one more. I can't resist. Really works. I was skeptical, but I am a believer. I used to get large raised bruises in my lower right leg for no reason. They would come and go, but never completely faded, and my leg was always sore to the touch. I thought they might have been clots. I would feel self-conscious exposing my leg. I took 2 capsules at breakfast every morning, and after a few weeks, I noticed that the bruises were completely gone. My leg is not sore to the touch anymore. I will continue to buy this for maintenance. So again, it's an opportunity. It's our monthly special. It's the best pricing we'll have on this until 2021. I think most people doubt that this is going to make a difference for them. I suspect most of the folks who wrote those reviews and the thousands of other reviews didn't expect this product would perform in the fashion it did. It's worth a try. It comes with a complete 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee.
I'm excited for you to try it. I can only tell you, after spending a lot of time myself reading the reviews, of which there are many, well over 3,000, 2,500 of which are perfect 5 stars, it can work for you. Thank you for shopping with us. It's our final hour of the day. We're giving you the special savings, the special pricing, and of course that free shipping and handling. Next, we're going to turn our attention to another all-star, the glucosamine chondroitin. This is for somebody, for anybody that is really looking for that flexibility, maintenance and repair of healthy joint tissue. If it doesn't feel as flexible as it used to, if you have issues or struggle along day in and day out like I used to do with my knees, you have to try this particular product. Now, I always had knee issues. Since I've been taking this, personally, I noticed a marked difference. But Andrew, this again is something that you have really focused in on over many, many years. More powerful today than it's ever been.
And I know I'm dating myself when I say this, but I've been making a glucosamine and chondroitin product for 41 years.
Amazing.
This is an ingredient that most people really just heard about in the last, say, 10 to 15 years at most. So, and the reason why I'm making it for 41 years, when I started my company, I was dealing with my own issues as an athlete. And of course, taking care of our joints is something that we need to be conscious about at all stages of life. Certainly as we get older, we become more conscious about it. But when we're younger, if we're very active, we need to focus on how our joints maintain themselves, repair themselves. And glucosamine and chondroitin are not as simple and straightforward as most companies would have you believe. Most companies use a form of glucosamine that doesn't deliver the benefits. We have always used glucosamine sulfate, which is the only way to be assured of getting the benefits of this product. We also deliver chondroitin sulfate. And as you can see, unlike the typical rock-hard tablets, because glucosamine hydrochloride, the typical source, hydrochloride, HCl, that's hydrochloric acid. That's going to be sensitizing for most people's stomachs. You put it in a large rock-hard tablet, it sits on the lining of your stomach, it's going to be irritating. So when you're trying to soothe your joints, the last thing you need is a bellyache. So we go about making a product that's going to deliver the benefits, deliver them rapidly, and deliver them without any problems. You shouldn't get problems when you're trying to do something good. You should be rewarded for doing something good. And that's exactly what we do with our glucosamine and chondroitin product. I have some charts here. I'm not sure if we'll have time to do the reviews, but just important to understand that these ingredients are seriously considered by the science. As you could say, there's more than 22,500 papers on glucosamine, more than 20,000 on chondroitin, more than 1,500 papers published on the two together, being used together, and then clinical trials involving the meta-analyses, systematic reviews have also been published, over 3,000 of those. So it's been carefully reviewed, carefully considered, and then just some really select quotes. This is for a medical journal for doctors, instructing them how to use these ingredients. And the quotes that I thought were compelling were, a combination of glucosamine and chondroitin should be considered viable first-line joint support nutrients. Be sure to tell patients to purchase glucosamine sulfate, not glucosamine hydrochloride. Sadly, most of the glucosamine that individuals will get at stores or online on the internet, it's hydrochloride. It's the wrong form. Even worse, for those of us who love our pets, the most common source of glucosamine for pets, cats, dogs, is hydrochloride, not the glucosamine sulfate that's going to deliver benefits. From the American Family Physician, unlike many supplements that reach the market completely untested in clinical trials, glucosamine has been the subject of considerable research, actually extensive research. Glucosamine is available in multiple forms. The most common are glucosamine hydrochloride and glucosamine sulfate. As I said before, the hydrochloride is the form that the science has not validated, does not work. From a medical journal called Rheumatology, glucosamine sulfate has shown positive effects on symptomatic and structural outcomes of normal age-related changes in joint comfort and function. Results obtained with glucosamine sulfate may not be extrapolated, meaning may not be applied to other glucosamine salts, such as hydrochloride. We'll do one more. From Rheumatology, most of the negative clinical trials were performed with glucosamine hydrochloride, 500 milligrams 3 times a day, whereas most of the positive trials were performed with the glucosamine sulfate powder at the dose of 1,500 milligrams once daily, which is exactly what you get with my product.
75 through 600 caps are available. The 600 caps is $99.90. Again, that's the weekend special pricing. So you're really saving a huge amount, $50 on that larger size. It's something that I've become very accustomed to and really had an impact on my life. I just feel, you know, when you don't have that flexibility, when you're kind of trying to get over something, or you live with something for so long, you feel like there's no hope and that nothing can work for you, you have to try this. Absolutely must try it. I opened up the capsule so you could see that it really is a soft, ultra-fine powder that is easy to absorb. We're gonna head over this way to something else. You talk about soothing joints. Well, how about also detoxifying the liver, helping with brain health? Turmeric is something, look at that beautiful color, that I was turned on to a few years ago. And I remember the day when I first Googled it and looked at all the long laundry list of benefits that people talk about with turmeric. One of the things, Andrew, that you taught me is that turmeric, unless it's delivered in the right form, you're not getting anywhere near enough of the benefits.
And it's a two-step process. Turmeric is something we've focused on for over 25 years. And there's no substitute for experience. And generally, when you're talking about vitamin supplements, when you see them in stores, or when you see them online on the internet, those supplements are not manufactured by the company that's selling them. That most supplements in the vitamin industry are manufactured by contract manufacturers. So we are not a contract manufacturer. We make all of your products for you, and we make them differently. This is 100% pure, additive-free. And when it comes to turmeric, most people are very conscious of turmeric spice. Turmeric spice has levels of curcuminoids, which are the beneficial component in turmeric. Those curcuminoids in turmeric spice are about 1% or 2%, typically. The ideal turmeric extract is at about 95%, which is fantastic. 95 times more potent. That's fantastic. But there's a problem. This is the second step in the analysis. Those 95% curcuminoids are not well absorbed. But there's a method to make them incredibly well absorbed, and it's very simple. If those curcuminoids are just gently combined at low temperature, complexed with fat, and the fat is intelligently chosen, like phosphatidylcholine, the most important phospholipid in the brain and phospholipid in the liver. If you combine it with phosphatidylcholine, you can enhance the absorption of those curcuminoids by almost 3,000%. And that's exactly what we do. Basically, it's what they do in India and Asia when they cook, and they use turmeric the way we use salt and pepper. So when they use turmeric, it's being naturally complexed with the fats in the food when they cook. So what we do is we take a page out of that cookbook, the Indian cookbook, and we naturally complex the curcuminoids and the turmeric with phosphatidylcholine. So you're not just getting a pretty colored capsule, but you're getting the ingredients that are going to be able to be absorbed and benefit you. Because the number one reason most folks are reaching for turmeric is for its soothing effects on the joints. Also, turmeric, despite it being a spice, we think of spices like pepper, we think of spices like garlic, upsetting for our stomach, irritating to our stomach and digestive system. Not the case with turmeric. Turmeric is actually soothing to your digestive system, so it really just is a wonderful ingredient. I'm more active than anyone my age should be. So we talked about glucosamine chondroitin, which I've been taking for 41 years. And we talk about turmeric now that I've been taking for 25 years. And here I am in my 7th decade. I'm still running mountain trails with my dog who gets turmeric, and my dog is 12 plus years old. So it's, what do they say? And I'm counting on it, that the big guy upstairs takes care of those who take care of themselves. So I'm doing my very best to take care of myself, and hopefully he'll return the favor.
Well, it's something that we can all do, but we get the right information. We understand the best ways to do it. And that's why, as Andrew explains, when it's formulated properly, you're maximizing the benefits. If you've ever investigated turmeric and you've been excited to try it, this is something wonderful to go with. I know there's only about 90 seconds left, but Andrew, with all of these words being said, there is a lot of science and clinical research as well with the turmeric.
And when it comes to turmeric, it's something that I often say this about cranberry, that turmeric is sort of that poster child for an ingredient, a traditional ingredient that's been respected for thousands of years, right, that now I'm not sure if there's any other natural ingredient that gets as much attention and as much focus as turmeric of late. And if you went to even the National Institute of Health research database, PubMed, PubMed.gov, G-O-V, it's fun. You could type in anything in their search engine. You type in turmeric and you see the list of organs and systems and health benefits. And you'll never want to go a day without using turmeric as, perhaps, as we do at the house, your favorite spice. And in the future, we're going to be coming out with a turmeric spice. So if you want to use turmeric to cook, this product is not designed for cooking. It's too expensive for that. But we're going to come out with a turmeric spice, which will be about the same price as the turmeric spice you'll see in stores, and it will have 20 times more curcuminoids. Wow. So that's something we're going to be coming out with in the future, because I thought turmeric spice ought to have more potent benefits with it, and it shouldn't have to be more expensive to do so.
We are rolling along. There's about 15 or 16 minutes left in our show, and we've still got some really important topics to talk about. One of them that's up next, if there was a Mount Rushmore of Andrew Lessman products, make no bones about it, CoQ10 would be on that Mount Rushmore. Andrew started the conversation many years ago. We were talking about vitamin K2, MK7 earlier, and how this was a voice that was heard all those years ago that really had a profound impact on the way we think about CoQ10 today. Many, many, many of us go to the stores and buy coenzyme CoQ10 products. We absolutely do. This is the best in the world. You cannot buy better than the CoQ10 that is on your screen right now. There's a 30 through 240 caps. It's a special pricing, so even the $129 saves you $50 off the regular price. I know we don't have a lot of time, but Andrew, those reviews keep going up. We're now at 3,400 5-star reviews.
Limited time and very limited supply on this as well. We will not be talking about this again until toward the end of the year, when it's a today's special. And as I said previously, earlier in this year, the price of CoQ10, what I paid for CoQ10 this time last year, the price of CoQ10 has quadrupled. So it's, I think there's some funny business going on with the companies that make CoQ10, and there's a handful of them. Right. But unfortunately, CoQ10 pricing at our Today Special will not be what it was last year. So this might be one of the last opportunities for great pricing on CoQ10. But CoQ10 goes to the very core of energy synthesis. And what's funny, if you look at the front label on this product, there are these like sort of disc-shaped things that almost look like a shape of like a beetle or something like that, sort of oval shaped. And what that is, that's an electron micrograph. That's an electron microscope looking at a mitochondrion. Those are the organelles that are found inside our cells. So inside our cells, we have thousands of mitochondria. Every single cell in our body is responsible for its own energy. There's no cell that can rely on its neighbor. We get fuel, but no cell can rely on the energy from its neighbor. It has to make its own energy. So when you deliver CoQ10, it is the most common sense, straightforward energy product in the world, because it's giving the most important tool for energy synthesis to each of the trillions of cells in your body. if you take caffeine or something like that, you're stimulating your nervous system. It's not doing anything in terms of energy production or making energy production more efficient, providing something that's limiting energy synthesis. And of course, our CoQ10, it is also a separate vitamin C and a separate B complex with a full B12 and our special methyl B12. And as well as our 5-MTHF methyl tetrahydrofolate. It's the form of folic acid that everyone could metabolize, since most folks can't metabolize conventional folic acid. So it's the most sophisticated B complex because CoQ10, as critical as it is, it's like any important person, they can't do it on their own. CoQ10 is the most important in terms of energy synthesis, energy creation, but we also have other factors that are often in short supply. So it's an opportunity to get a CoQ10 like no other. And that is, again, it's another one of those products like turmeric, my berry products, that I wonder why artificial colors exist. When you have a beautiful natural color like that, why do you need an artificial color? And the answer is they're just cheaper. But as you can see, an ultra-fine powder, and what you're looking at is the beautiful natural color of CoQ10. And it's sort of the color of the sun. And all energy on our planet originates with the sun. So how appropriate that CoQ10 should have that beautiful, bright yellow color.
It's a common sense energy product. I've become, you know, I've come to rely upon it so much doing the crazy hours here at HSN at all times of the day and night. But it's something that is easy on your stomach. It's easy to take and feel good about. I mean, you look at the graphics, and Andrew is intimately involved in writing all of this. I want you to know, when we talk about Andrew being involved in every part of this process, he really is, because it's his world and it means a lot to him, everything to him, that what you get is the information that we need. Essential for energy, well-being, and optimum key organ function, plus B12 and vitamin C. So you've got far-reaching benefits. One of the things, and it's of course come back to mind now, is what Andrew, you said about the pricing of CoQ10. And so that's important. I want to highlight that. This is amazing pricing, but Andrew, what you're saying is we can't guarantee that the pricing will be this low going forward. Is that an accurate statement?
Again, and this is 200 milligrams CoQ10, and also what happens, and I'm sure will happen again, that when pricing on CoQ10 went crazy, and it's done this probably 5 times in the last, I've offered CoQ10 for 36 years. So in the last 36 years, it's happened probably half a dozen times. And each time that happens, there are a lot of counterfeit products in the market that don't use real CoQ10 because they're cutting corners because it's gone so much up in price and cost. You can count on us to never do that. But unfortunately, as well as we will do buying CoQ10 in the future, and we're doing the best we can, our cost is going to go up on the Today Special at the end of this year. But again, CoQ10, it's something that in the past, this product would have cost $500 or $600 for that 240 capsule supply. So even at worst, pricing is so much better today than CoQ10 was when I introduced it over 30 years ago. Over 30 years ago, a 100 milligram capsule of CoQ10 would be over $1 per capsule. So 200 would be over $2 per capsule. So it's still a bargain relative to 25 or 30 years ago, but I'm doing my best to make sure that we keep it that way.
Andrew, thank you so much. That's the kind of wrap on our CoQ10. Remember, this is Andrew's final show of the visit. So if there's anything in your cart that you've been shopping for or looking towards, certainly check out before the end of our show. We'd love to get these sent out right to you. It's important to realize as well, as we head over to vitamin D3, Andrew, these vitamins, these supplements are not sat on a shelf in a dusty warehouse that they've been there for 7 or 8 months. These are vitamins and supplements that are in many ways made to order.
Well, we prepare, our facilities are larger than they really should be because we prepare everything for each show. So a Today Special generally doesn't exist. So our Today Special for our August show a month from now, most companies would have made that 6 months ago. Right. We're probably only ramping up to produce it right now. So everything is produced fresh, like our vitamin D. And vitamin D is just something, it's very important to talk about right now. Vitamin D is really the unsung hero when it comes to immune system support. So vitamin D is something that we think about our skeleton and calcium absorption, which of course vitamin D is absolutely essential for. Many people are also aware of the fact that vitamin D can reduce the risk of falling as we become older because it's critical for muscle contraction. But vitamin D is absolutely essential for a healthy immune system. So if you want something that's incredibly affordable, that's pennies a day, and you could choose 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, all the potencies are all the same price. So you're getting 3,000 at the same price as 1,000. So you get any of those choices and you're giving your body what it needs, because a healthy immune system requires healthy levels of vitamin D. And what I say in terms of just general wellness, the simplest and most affordable thing we could do for general wellness is to go through life with healthy levels of vitamin D, which means that we want to take more than 1,000 IU. In most cases, 3,000 to 5,000 IU is all we need, so that 3,000 IU would be perfect, and especially if you add it to a multivitamin, even more perfect, and it's just pennies a day.
And it really is. If you look at the pricing breakdown, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. 60, 183, 60, or 720. The 720 is only $69.90. So a really affordable opportunity to be able to get it, far-reaching benefits. And as Andrew, you said at the very beginning, you know, for most of us, research has shown that we are deficient in that. Why is it that we're so deficient in it?
Well, first of all, there's no good dietary source for vitamin D. The only decent dietary sources of vitamin D is a food that's fortified with vitamin D. In other words, a vitamin D supplement. So again, the only way we get adequate levels of vitamin D is supplementation. And that's me saying that, but it's me quoting the science, quoting our government, that they literally refer to vitamin D deficiency and insufficiency as not just an epidemic, but a pandemic. We all have learned the meaning of that word. So really, if you want to give your body what it needs in terms of the wellness support I talk about over the course of our lifetime, and how it's unusual, generally when something plays all of these extensive roles and these beneficial roles, usually that thing, the more important it becomes, the more extensive the benefits, the more expensive it becomes. In the large size here, it's less than a dime a day.
Yeah.
And that's whether you choose 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000. It's still less than a dime a day.
Same low price, no matter which one you select. I'm gonna head this way with our final 5 or 6 minutes in the show. If you're shopping for the vitamin D3, of course you can do it on our telephone line, or you can call, order online at hsn.com, or download the HSN app. Just find Andrew's products, search Andrew Lessman or vitamin supplements. You're gonna see everything, and spend a little time reading some of the reviews. Andrew, doing so many of these Monday shows with you, there is always, one of the most common themes that I've noticed is the topic of helping to support healthy blood sugar, right? I've noticed that being a really important part of people's lives. Well, you always steer people towards the cinnamon.
Yeah, it's a very important part of everyone's life. Especially now, we must follow the guidance of our doctors, take our medication as we're advised to do so, because we want to make sure that we're managing our blood sugar level. We want to make sure that we're eating that healthy diet. And if you want a natural tool that can work perfectly with the dietary changes, the medication you're taking, and those lifestyle changes, then it's cinnamon bark extract. And so it's a wonderful, natural way to just add a sort of an exclamation point to the end of that sentence. Do everything you can to support healthy blood sugar levels. Do everything you can to support healthy blood pressure levels. And this is a wonderful natural tool in terms of helping support healthy blood sugar balance, healthy glucose and insulin metabolism. So it's a Mother Nature at her best. But mind you, it might look like cinnamon, it might smell like cinnamon, but it's treated very differently in terms of how we go about making the product. So I talk about this when I talk about my fruitful antioxidant product, that's not just dried fruit. This is not just dried cinnamon bark. This is cinnamon bark that has been specifically focused, targeted, and concentrated to deliver an active compound, or the active compounds that are responsible for helping to support the benefit you seek. So it's more than just yummy cinnamon bark, and it happens to smell nice and taste nice. But what it's intended to do here is targeting the components that are the beneficial compounds in terms of the benefit you seek. And the benefit we seek from cinnamon bark extract, of course, is helping with blood sugar balance, insulin metabolism. Those are the sorts of things that cinnamon bark extract is the perfect natural tool to add to our sort of our regimen in that regard.
Pricing is really extremely affordable as well. I believe it's our most affordable supplement of the entire evening. 30, 60, 120 or 240. For the largest size, it's only $44.90. Again, we're doing at least 3 flex pays. Certainly when you're shopping tonight, you can do it even on the 30 caps. We're doing 3 flex pays on the $10.90 special. So really affordable to get this home. Andrew, is this 1 per day?
That's all I take. I want 1 capsule daily. And what's interesting, I have good blood sugar numbers, I have good A1C numbers. And for me, I take this to support me there and to keep me there. And lo and behold, even using this, my numbers have even improved. So it's just a wonderful, natural tool that we can use to keep us in that right direction and keep us at that correct level.
And really extraordinary reviews on this as well. That's the thing with Andrew's products, you always get the truth. So many folks, when we search for reviews on different companies and websites, some of the reviews are filtered. You see everything here. And Andrew and the team are always looking and learning and listening to what folks you are saying. So this is our cinnamon.
And that's an important thing, Adam. I just wanted to emphasize. Sometimes I go online and I applaud HSN because HSN is extremely rigorous in terms of their reviews.
Yes.
We know some of those big websites out there, those reviews are not rigorous at all. Those reviews are created by robots or bots or computers, whatever. But HSN, you can't review a product unless you've purchased it, and you can't even review it until several days after you've purchased it, because HSN wants to make sure you actually use the product, enjoy the product, or whatever it might be before you review it. So you can trust these reviews. You read them and you see how impassioned they are and you know they're real. But it's just good to know that because we rely on them to know what we're going to experience.
Thank you for shopping with us on our cinnamon, that high potency blend helping to support blood sugar balance and glucose metabolism. Before we wrap up tonight, we have 2 very quick presentations, immune factors and also vitamin C. We often get asked about these 2 products. Andrew, let's start with immune factors if we can. What is immune factors all about? That's a big question for only 20 seconds. I apologize.
Immune factors is not about preventing diseases and things like that. It's not a drug or a medicine. All immune factors, and this time of year, if you notice, I've only done it a couple of times for 1 minute. I just don't think it's an appropriate product to really be doing a full presentation on right now. If you want to reorder it, it's available. It's never gone out of stock. We've kept it available. But our immune factors, it's echinacea, it's golden seal, it's vitamin C, it's our full unique B complex. It's astragalus, it's mushroom complex. It's a virtually perfectly reviewed product. What we've done is we've provided the nutrients, we've provided the botanicals that are associated with these benefits in terms of supporting our immune system.
And then last but by no means least, our vitamin C product, always popular. There's so many vitamin C products out there, many of which are very, very expensive. Andrew, yours is altogether different and better.
Again, it's the most unique vitamin C, but it's affordable. It's about $0.10 a capsule, 500 milligrams, which is the perfect potency you take at one time. Non-acidic, will never upset your stomach, ultra-fine powder, easy to swallow, and incredibly affordable for an incredibly high-quality vitamin C. And vitamin C, vitamin D, these are the things that we want to have available to support a healthy immune system. So they're available. We've managed to keep everything in stock during this difficult time. Great applause. Everybody at my facilities deserves a hand because they've done wonderful things keeping everything in stock.
And Andrew, we applaud you, honestly. I enjoy all of our time together. We'll see you real soon. Thank you, Andrew. Good night.
Celebrate HSN's birthday with the HSN card. You'll get all kinds of birthday perks, like 12-month VIP financing on select items, extra flex on most home electronic and culinary items, only during our birthday, plus an exclusive VIP savings event on July 28th, just for our VIPs. Includes fraud protection, and there's no annual fee. Apply now and instantly get $10 off when you're approved. Call 1-800-695-1418 or visit hsn.com/HSN card.
Paris. Paris on HSN.
And good evening, a brand new day and a brand new Today special here on HSN. Welcome in, welcome to our home fair celebration. I'll tell you one thing you want around the house, a brand new phone, and one thing you don't want, unwanted calls.